Good morning, my friends. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. It has been a while since I have done a breakfast kimono wake up with coffee and alcohol and candles. So here we are. Happy Saturday. So this is a empties video for the month of May. I have my tub of candles here. And I did burn more candles than I did dedicated reviews for this month. I think I only did dedicated reviews for a Yankee candle and a couple Tuscany candles, but I did burn more than that. So I'm gonna talk about those here. I also did burn completely all the way through one other Yankee candle, but I just haven't gotten to a dedicated review, and I want to review it because it's one of their new ones. It's on the green. So I did just finish that one up, but I just didn't find the time this week to do an actual review of it. So I will do that for June. And if you can believe it, I also did do several hauls as well, but I did not tell you about them. So I did do a little haul. I bought 3 candles from Yankee Candle, like maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. Maybe 3 weeks ago, I don't know. And I also bought some candles from Bath & Body Works as well. And I'm staring at them because they are sitting at my front door, in bags. Because, you know, I just set them there and I'm like, this will remind me, I need to do these hauls. They've been there for 3 weeks in their bags. And it's kind of like, you know, when you do laundry and then you just can't be bothered to fold the clothes and put them away. So you just kind of leave them in baskets in your bedroom. Or like me, I dump them out and I put them on the carpet, you know. And then after like a week, 2 weeks, you just start pulling clothes from that pile, you know? That's kind of how the candles have been. So there were hauls, complete hauls in bags. And every now and then over the last like week, 2 weeks, I'm like, I need a candle to burn. What's in this bag? Get this candle out. So I've just been picking and burning from these 2 hauls that I need to video, but I'm not actually videoing it. I'm just pulling candles from it. So at this point, I don't know how impressive those hauls will look, even if I, you know, did them. However, I have been leaving the Bath & Body Works bag untouched, I think. So maybe I can do a Bath & Body Works haul. I can do that maybe next week, although I don't want to promise anything. Also, I believe semi-annual sale is coming up for both Yankee Candle and for semi-annual. So there's that too. So I might as well get these hauls out of the way. This video is brought to you by the letter D, which stands for Di Serono. So this is Di Serono Velvet Cream Liqueur. Okay, so yeah, this is what we're going with today. And I've got some iced coffee, so excuse me, just, oh man, this is such a sharp plastic handle, label, top, lid. Ooh, there we go, lid. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Bottoms up. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so this will help. Let's talk. So I only have one Bath & Body Works candle in this thing. Man, Bath & Body Works has been so sad. So sad. I can't even remember a time where Bath & Body Works has been this sad. Truly. So much so that I'm like kind of angrified, and I feel as though I am, in a resentful way, avoiding the store and not wanting to buy anything from them because I just, not that they care at all, but I just am so displeased with the offerings from this company. I thought last year was pretty lackluster, and last year was head and shoulders better than this one so far. So Also, can I just say, I think the Disney collab did not go well. It was just the fragrances were just so blah, right? I am missing the ethnic collections. Last year, the best collection of the year was that Black History Month collection. I mean, like, far and away the best collection of the year. The best candles of the year were in that collection. And I know that there were some, like, ethnic collections that didn't land so well. I'm looking at you, South Asian. I'm looking at you. Also what was it? Was it the Mexican one at the very end of the year that was just kind of like, oh yeah, here's some unseasonal candles as we go into fall. Like, you know what I mean? Which reminds me, I do need to burn that pink one, the pink floral one, because it is now seasonal. And I think Greg from All About Candles burned that one and really liked it. And I think I would like it too. It was the one that I bought from the collection because I was like, this actually smells like a good floral. It's just like, why are you giving it to us in fall, right? I need to pull that one out. I was laying in bed last night and I was like complaining in my mind about Bath and Body Works. And then I was just like, you know, Sarita, you have an entire tub. I mean, we're talking, I don't know how many candles are in this tub. Several. I mean, like over 20, I think. Of vintage Bath and Body Works candles. Vintage ones. That are not going to last till kingdoms come, right? And this is a great moment. This is a gift. Let's, instead of this like glass half empty, oh, Bath and Body Works isn't giving us good candles right now. Take this moment. You won't feel like you're missing anything. Take this moment to burn some of those like vintage Bath and Body Works candles that you've always wanted to, but can never find the time. This is a gift, right? So I am gonna try to do that. Don't hold me to it. But I do have that tub of a lot of vintage stuff, and some of them are for sure seasonal. I think they're around the seasons. I mean, they're just, you know, I mean, I'm looking at a couple off screen right now. Pumpkin coconut. Okay, maybe that one's not seasonal, although I don't think it really smells like pumpkin. And wine cellar and power. And I need to just start burning some of these, right? I mean, those are not particularly seasonal. Those were just over here on the on deck circle for the fall period and have just lingered since then. I can put those away, but I know in that tub there's like a lot of spring and summer stuff too that's vintage. So anyway, close parentheses. I am going to make some lemonade right now out of the lemons of Bath and Body Works and start delivering, or at least talking about some of these vintage ones that I've bought on Facebook Marketplace and have always wanted to try and have on my shelf in my collection, and I'm not burning them. So that's what this year can be about. And I want to not think about how bad Bath and Body Works is, but how good they were. See what I did there? Okay, so here's the lone Bath and Body Works candle that I did burn this month. It is vanilla coconut right here. And this came out, I don't know, very early in the year. And although I don't think they've had a quote unquote vanilla coconut candle, apparently this was a repackage of the vanilla coconut surf or whatever it was that came out at a similar time last year, which was actually quite a good candle in this beautiful like pastel art deco kind of look. And of course, in hindsight, I should have bought another one and I just didn't. And then they were sold out and we did not see them again. And it was like kind of a nice coconut. I thought for a minute it was going to be mainly coconut, like a gourmand coconut, because that had a very caramelized coconut vanilla like burst at the top of the candle, top notes. And so every time I smelled it, I'm like, oh, I don't want a gourmand candle, right? But then underneath, there was like a driftwood note that was kind of a little bit bassier, a little bit muskier. and really was very, very beautiful. And the candle, of course, performed extremely well as well. And apparently this is a repackage of it, because the notes are sweet vanilla, coconut waves, and beechwood, which I think are basically the same notes as what the coconut vanilla surf were, although I don't know that it's verbatim. And I could, yes, it does seem to smell quite similar, at least on cold. I have to be honest, when I burned it, I didn't like it as much as vanilla coconut surf. But maybe I'm just glorifying vanilla coconut surf, my experience from last year. To me, this candle went much more solar floral than the vanilla coconut surf did. Yes, it was a coconut, but because of, I thought it smelled, there was a much more of a mineral, brassy neroli note in it that really pulled it more sunscreen, pulled it more toward the, like, you know, on the beach, you know, suntan, etc., the perfect summer, kind of pulled it in that direction more than I remember vanilla coconut surf doing. I liked the vanilla coconut surf, and it did have some little elements like that, but I thought it was more well-rounded. I thought it was a little bit more coconut caramel. I thought it was less than like brassy neroli. And I thought there was a bit more musk in it. It did not perform that way for me, and for that reason, I didn't love it as much. And I wouldn't purchase this again. I think these kinds of candles from Bath & Body Works are kind of dime a dozen. They're fine, but like they have a ton of the like coconut / solar floral kind of candles. And I'm not a real suntan candle girly, so I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I remember enjoying coconut vanilla surf. But God bless, maybe it is a repackage, and this is how like, I don't know how Kent, like from Candle Channel, like keeps these all straight, because it was literally 9 or 10 months ago. And I'm struggling to compare these to 9 or 10 months ago. Can you imagine a candle that like you haven't smelled for like 10 years? Is this a repackage? Like, I don't remember. My memory of vanilla coconut surf may be glorified now, 10 months later. It's just not okay. It's not okay. Anyway, that was vanilla coconut surf. It burned fine. It was kind of moderately sooty, but burned fine. Had really no issues with it, all the way down to the wick clips. I just didn't quite enjoy it as much as I did vanilla coconut surf. And on top of it, given how brassy and neroli it was, it really felt unseasonal, even in April and in May. It felt like this was a high July, August candle. Again, I don't remember feeling that way about vanilla coconut surf. So there you go. I have one candle from Village. I just finished this one up. This is a mini one, which I really like because still has the 2 wicks and still burns like any Village candle, but it's just tiny, tiny. It's short, which is great. I mean, the diameter of it is exactly the same as like a full Village candle, and it's just like the top little third. And I think that's fantastic for those of us who burn a lot of candles. They also have a medium, which is more like a half of a regular tumbler. But I just really appreciate how they've kept the diameter the same. They've kept the 2 wicks. You're basically getting the exact same experience as you would for a regular tumbler. It's just that it's a fraction of that size, which means less potential to soot, and you can get through it faster. So I'm a huge fan of these littleish ones. I got this one from my bougie grocery store because they had a great sale on these little ones. I think they were like, oh gosh, I can't even remember. I want to say that they were in the $8 to $10 range, which was just fantastic. They have a pretty limited range in this grocery store of the Village candles though. And most of them I've either tried before or are unseasonal, like they'll have the fresh balsam one or something like that, you know. But I did see the lilac, and while lilac isn't my favorite floral in home fragrance or just absolutely, I always think of lilacs in May for Mother's Day, and I thought, let's try it. Let's see what's going on. I have tried, I think, the fresh cut lilacs from Bath & Body Works before, and for some reason, I'm always kind of looking for a lilac candle that I would just really adore and love, and I haven't found it yet. I did burn, so I did get a daylight once of the Kringle lilac one that everybody raves about, and I did not like it at all. I thought it was stinky and weird. And everybody says it's like super authentic, so I don't really know what to say. It just I did not end up buying the candle, so maybe the daylight was corrupted or something. I just didn't love it. Spring Lilac from Village Candle, I wouldn't repurchase this one, I'm not gonna lie to you. It burned fine, it burned great. Toward the end here, I wasn't getting quite as much out of it, and I just was kind of done. It was getting a little puny toward the end. Really, at least from what I know here, this is still 100% paraffin. I mean, this is a beautiful 100% paraffin formula because you get virtually no sooting at all. So for those of you out there, who are constantly beating the drum about how terribly sooty paraffin is, yes, it has the potential to be more so than soy, but I've had soy candles that burn dirtier than the way that these paraffins generally burn from Village Candle. I do think that Kringle, before they got rid of their 100% paraffin formula, also burned similarly, extremely clean. And I personally saw that as the best of both worlds because I do think paraffin is the best vehicle for fragrance. Its only detraction is how dirty it can get. So if you can get a very clean burning 100% paraffin formula, what are we talking about? Like, why even bother with soy, right? At any rate, Village Candle, the strength and throw on this one was, I mean, when it was burning high, it was decent. It was really decent. I mean, in the back bedroom, I could get it up to like a 6.5, you know. I started burning it in the guest bathroom though at a certain point because as it went down, it started losing some of its power, some of its strength in the wicks. And I also didn't love it very much. And I just kind of wanted to like put it in the guest bathroom and kind of burn other things in the rest of the house. At first I thought it was a really nice lilac, and I do think it might be marginally better than fresh cut lilacs from Bath & Body Works. It smells a little bit more interesting, maybe, sorry guys, garbage truck. A little bit more authentic perhaps than fresh cut lilacs. But it's so tremendously soapy at the same time. And I don't know, a lot of lilac candles are soapy. And I don't know if that's because lilac itself smells soapy, but then I remember like smelling lilacs and like, I don't know that I necessarily went soapy. I don't think they did. What I'm wanting is a super authentic lilac that smells green at the same time. Because when you smell a lilac, you're smelling the entire bush. And there is something fragrant, dewy, and green about that lilac. You know what I mean? Whereas every lilac candle that I've smelled is just so like, kind of like, it's not synthetic smelling. It's just so like hothouse, stale indoors smelling. Like there's no green element to it. And it's often so soapy that you just kind of feel like this is like your grandmother's lilac scent. Or perhaps even like a really bad laundry scent booster or something like that, you know? And that's kind of the way that I felt about this. I think there are probably people who would really like it though and do like it. So I apologize to you. The notes listed on the jar are fresh lilac, dewy petals, and white hyacinth. So it does say dewy in there. Like, on the other hand, it doesn't list anything green. I mean, look at the picture though. There's green on a lilac bush. Like, it just, whatever. You know, I started this out with the disclaimer that this is not my favorite flower. So, like, maybe it's perfectly fine and I am just not a lilac lover. I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't purchase it again. And it did struggle at the midway point in terms of volume. So, there you go. I bought this fancy candle from Marshall's like a year ago. It was in this fancy box by this company called Illume, but not Illume, if you know what I mean. Not like my Illume, Illume. It's in this fancy box called Italian Bergamot. I got it for $15 and it looks like this. It was so pretty and it was a 3-wick. And I love the smell of it so much, and I didn't buy it for a really long time, and then I was like, you love this, and it says San Diego, California. I don't know, I started seeing these Illume like candles probably about a year ago, and a lot of them smelled like really good, like surprisingly a little bit more sophisticated than some of their like DS home candles or whatever their home candles are. But as you can imagine, from a candle of dubious provenance from Marshalls and TJ Maxx, it did not perform well. No. So I finally gave up on this one I burned it more than half. But I just was getting like 0 negative strength and throw. So finally, even in the guest bathroom. So I was like, okay, yeah, lesson learned. Every now and then I just will buy like a proprietary Marshalls and TJ Maxx candle and be like, it just smells so good. It looks so beautiful. And like, yeah, no, that's about where the benefits stop. Looks good and often smells good on cold, but it's not going to give you anything once you burn it, because I think that many people who buy those candles from Marshalls and TJ Maxx are not serious candle people. So like, honestly, they're happy with those 2 things, you know, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's 2 out of 3, but like, it doesn't perform like a candle should. Anyway, this smells so gorgeous and actually reminds me a great deal of a candle, which I'm just going to talk about now, from Tuscany. Very similar to this one. Oh man, this one is so much better though. This is like the beginning of this candle here from Tuscany. It's just delicate and fragrant, and it's botanical. Yes, it's bergamot, but it's not like a bergamot like perfume oil. It's a true like fragrant citrus, the kind of citrus that you buy in season, and without even peeling them, you can just smell the oils on the rind itself, and it's just so fragrant. That's how this candle is. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's kind of vaguely lemony, vaguely lime, vaguely even like grassy, like a lemongrass. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And like I said, delicate, and yeah, so delicate I could not smell that. So let's talk about this one. I was only able to burn this halfway because on one very unfortunate occasion, I did burn it for like 12 hours. Because I was loving it so much and it was burning so well, and then it just killed it. Absolutely killed it. Refused to light the next 4 times. So finally I just called it, but I think that there's still, I got this from a very bougie Wegmans grocery store, and I think they still have these in store. So I'm waiting for them to go on sale, and then I'm gonna buy another one. This is Yuzu Burst. And I did do a dedicated review of this bergamot and yuzu. And this one is just so much more high powered over that like bergamot one. And it's zestier, it's punchier, and it has not only a lemongrass note, but also like maybe a vague mint, spearmint like kind of note in it. It is just so fantastic, still with that like very authentic lemon bergamot kind of note. Oh, it's so great. And the power on this, before I did the abuse of 12 hours, I mean, like in the open concept was giving me a 7, maybe a 7.5. It was too powerful for the back bedroom, to be perfectly honest. I mean, in the back bedroom, it was like an 8, an 8.5. Super power. This is a soy blend with the triple wicks. I've talked about this before. It has kind of a narrower diameter than the Bath & Body Works ones and is 12 ounces. Tuscany has a lot of terrible low quality candles, but these wraparound ones that are this narrower 12 ounce, these are consistently above average, not only in the fragrance profile itself, but also in terms of performance. So I really highly recommend, if you've got you can't have like just an average Kroger grocery store. The Krogers tend to not sell like the nicer Tuscanys. They sell the glass ones. Whenever you see a transparent glass Tuscany, it is probably going to be very bad quality. God bless if you have found a few that you like in those like very like basement level collections. Because, you know, every now and then, you know, you can't help liking something that's a little bit like bargain basement, you know, it's like having a Pop-Tart or something like that. But no, those are generally pretty bad. These are a cut above and they are limited editions. This one is a summer limited edition for them. And I believe they're selling it on their website. I think it's $18 regular priced. I think I got this one probably for 13 or 14 in Wegmans regular price, and I'm hoping on sale it'll go for even less than that. But honestly, this candle was so good. You could spend $18 on it and probably be pretty happy with it. So has outperformed anything from Bath & Body Works that I've bought this year, and was beautiful and enjoyable, and just everything that I loved about this season. This is an amazing candle for this season, for kind of spring into summer. There is still a fragrant and delicate quality to the citrus that they're using here. It's not like the Bath & Body Works like candied synthetic kind of citrus. So it's really beautiful, kind of still in the early or even late spring area, leading into summer. I just thought it was a fantastic candle, and I am going to buy another one and not abuse it, and I think I'll be able to get through it fine. And the reason that I'm fairly confident is because I did buy another one in that collection called Carnival that I did not abuse, and that I was able to burn all the way down to the wick clips, and burned just as well at the beginning that it burned at the end. It was consistent. I mean, it's the way it burned, the way that Bath & Body Works candles used to burn, which is top to bottom, big, powerful strength and throw and consistency. No like kind of soyish variations of strength and throw or variations of fragrance. Just really impressive. And this is a soy blend candle, so all the more impressive to get the kind of volume and consistency out of it that I got out of it. Both this one and this one, until I killed the second one, this Yuzu burst. Carnival is supposed to be acai and palm leaf. But as I said in the review, this is really almost a fall candle. It's almost a dead-on dupe for the fairy candle from Village that is also sugar plum. It's a very dark, jammy, musky kind of blackberry currant kind of candle. And I found it to be somewhat unseasonal in April. That said, I love the profile of that fragrance. It kind of is in the same category as Santiago Huckleberry from Voluspa, but definitely not a dupe of that candle. It's a dupe of the Village candle. And it is powerful, and I'm so pleased to say that the strength on throw on this one was better than my experience of the Village candles. That said, the performance, the strength and throw was a bit more muted than the Yuzu. So in the open concept, I couldn't get more than really kind of a 5 to a 6 out of it. But in the back bedroom, I could definitely get it up to like a 6.5, maybe a 7, but I think probably closer to 6.5. But again, that's better than the Village candles. I couldn't even get a 6.5 in the back bedroom with the Sugar Plum candle. So yeah, burned great. I would definitely repurchase this one again, but I would not recommend it for spring or summer, even though it's being marketed as one. I would definitely say that's an autumnal candle, and a gorgeous one. If you're looking for an autumnal candle that is not pumpkin spice, right? That is not apple. This is absolutely the profile that you should go to. Fantastic. And I would actually say that it's really more of a deep fall candle. It's not even like a September candle. So very fantastic. I would repurchase another one, but they are sold out at my Wegmans. So that one went fast. I will probably get the Yuzu. All right, and then I had a Yankee candle. I did do a dedicated review of this one, Lucky Sweater. This is from their new Sun and Games collection, which I actually thought was good. I thought it was good, and I thought there were some very intriguing candles in that collection. The Italy collection beforehand was successful in a different way. That was a much safer collection though. There really weren't any candles that were so unusual. None that I can think of. There were some very unusual ones in Sun and Games. By the way, the 3 candles that I bought from Yankee Candle in my haul, sitting by my door, I went ahead and bought the 2 from the garden collection, the tomato one and the herb one. I originally passed on both of them because I didn't like either of them enough on cold, but mainly because when I was smelling them, they seemed extremely weak to me, and I just didn't want to spend the money. They also do not come in 3 wicks. So I was just stuck with the big tumbler, and I thought, no, I'm not going to get through this. However, the lady was giving me a beautiful deal at Yankee Candle. I got it for half price off, both of them. And at that point, the tomato candle had come out from Bath and Body Works. And I just thought, you know what? I should really get the tomato candle from Yankee Candle so that I can do a compare and contrast. So I have been burning both the herb one and the tomato one. I also bought another Yankee Candle, but we'll get to that in another time. That garden collection was not very successful. There were at least 2 or 3 candles in that collection that were just bad, very off-putting. There was like an herbal tea one that just smelled like a cough drop. And then there was another one, like some kind of rain candle that was just kind of one of their dime a dozen men's colognes. So there were some real stinkers in that collection. And I'm not sure that the herb or the tomato one were good enough to balance that out. So I would say that that collection was probably the least successful of the 3 that they've put out so far. I think this one was the most successful right here and had a few candles that were quite unusual, even if they weren't in the end very pleasant or repurchases. It is great to see a candle company trying to do something different, and I thought there were several candles in this collection that did. This is the most unusual one of the collection, and the one that I brought home because it was the most in my wheelhouse. This is musk and geranium. Geranium is kind of having a moment in home fragrance, and I don't know how I feel about that because I don't love geranium as a scent note, full stop, in either essential oil form or like, I don't know, even the botanical, like it's just not my favorite. But I do think in home fragrance, a little of it goes a long way. So I'm not exactly enthusing about this geranium trend. There's another candle that has geranium in it that, I think that the tomato candle from Bath and Body Works has geranium in it. I'm not looking forward to that, you know? This candle has an enormous amount of geranium. In fact, I would go so far as to say it's pretty much a geranium musk candle with, on cold, a good amount of soapy cotton that makes it a little bit more laundry-ish on cold. Upon it being burned, I think that that soapy like laundry element really kind of is bested by the geranium and the musk. So all you smell is geranium musk. And because it's a huge amount of musk, and then it also has that kind of linen cotton note in it, this is definitely not an authentic outdoor geranium kind of delicate note. This is a geranium oil kind of note, and it's just so brassy and so overwhelming. And I'm happy to say, but in a mixed way, that the strength and throw on this was extremely impressive in the open concept. Easy 7.5, if not an 8. I mean, it was a strong, strong candle. So this is a geranium note you cannot get away from. And I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy it because I did not enjoy the geranium. I really, really didn't. That said, it's an unusual candle. And I mean, with a performance that good, like, I have to give it high marks. I just do. If you're the kind of person that enjoys a musky geranium, this is your candle, and I can't imagine that you're going to be disappointed by it because it performs top to bottom. It was moderately sooty, but extremely impressive in terms of its performance. And like I said, I have to give high marks to Yankee Candle for the originality of that fragrance. I've talked about it before, but the design was panned by everyone. I actually didn't think it was bad. I thought it was kind of cool with the chartreuse. I liked the colors. I liked the geometry of it. I liked the sentiment of it. I thought that the concept was seasonal and fun and something that not every other candle company is doing. So I was actually a fan, but to me, it looks like somebody has like mocked up a design that is not done yet. It looks a little juvenile. It looks two-dimensional. It looks like this is something that you take to, this is something that the development team works up for the team, but is going to look like 10 times more professional once they get done with it. And yeah, so I will say that, you know. I also burned a Nest candle that was fantastic. This is Yuzu and Neroli from Nest, and it was just a little one. Impressive strength and throw, even with this votive, and burned like a dream, top to bottom, high flames. I had a bamboo candle votive that I bought at the same time that did not perform at all, and it's not a fragrance that I would repurchase. I'm not a huge Nest fan, but I liked this Sunlit Yuzu and Neroli so well, I would repurchase it. And if this votives experience is indicative of anything, it had a fantastic performance and a fantastic strength and throw. And it was such a beautiful, I mean, yes, it is a little bit of a candied lemon fragrance, but it still has authenticity, freshness, and brightness to it. And yes, then it also has that neroli note. It smells like the sun. It's just really beautiful and a little bit more sophisticated than the offerings that Bath & Body Works usually gives us. Yes, I would buy this again. And I'm not even a lemon fragrance fan, and I generally like Orange Blossom better than neroli, but that was a yes. I do highly recommend that one, and I would buy it in a larger candle version. I'm working through some of my little mini candles that I found in the bathroom, and I'm trying to declutter. So I bought this one. This one from Illume comes out generally now in the winter time as a holiday candle. It's one of their more recent holiday fragrances, and I don't think it's very good. Their original holiday fragrances are, I think, called Woodfire. It's the fire one. The firewood one. Maybe it's called Firewood. Yeah, I think it's Firewood. Firewood or Woodfire. And obviously Winter White, which is, I think, their best Christmas candle. Those two, and then they've also got, I think, like a, I want to say like a clove and chestnut or something like that, which is okay. It's very clove heavy, if I remember correctly. Those were their first three, and I think their best ones. Then they came out with 3 other holiday candles that are just not very good. mainly because they don't perform well. North Sky is one of them, and this is just so generic. It's actually very citrusy, like almost in a volcano from Capri Blue kind of way. But they actually, Illume does actually have a straight up dupe of Capri Blue. And I can't remember what it's called, Citrus Burst maybe, something like that. But this one is awfully close. It's just a little bit muskier, I think. But it just doesn't, it's a no for me. It's just so generic smelling. And at this point, even Volcano is starting to smell generic because we just smell it everywhere. It didn't have great strength and throw at all. Very muted. Oh, just a poor excuse of a candle. I would absolutely not purchase it again, and I do not recommend it. Here's another little Illume one though. This is Terra Tabac, which is one of their fall candles, and it is kind of cologne-y, but man, this one is good. Wow! It is a lot of tobacco. It is a lot of musk. Ooh, it's vetiver. It's like all of that. But there is a richness and a sumptuousness about this fragrance. It's like thick brown velvet. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a little on the standard generic side for kind of a men's cologne at this point, which makes it not my favorite fragrance from Illume. But man, the strength and throw on this is very, very good and a little overpowering given the heaviness of the profile. But if you are in any way, shape, or form kind of a men's cologne fragrance fan, or kind of a tobacco vetiver kind of spicy, almost incensey kind of fan, really, I highly recommend that you check this one out. This is one of those Illume candles that you're not going to worry about in terms of strength and throw. I also did do a few wax melts from Chestnut Hill. Chestnut Hill, I did their Lilac one, and here is the Lilac. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine, but it just wasn't. It was kind of like the Village Lilac one, where it was just kind of like, okay, again, kind of canned and soapy, and it's a no. It didn't have particularly good strength and throw. Here's another one from Chestnut Hill, which is supposed to be green pumpkin, but it smells like, I don't even know what. I think there's a note here that's supposed to be green, but it goes bad. I can't explain it. And then there's just kind of like this weird, like dated grandmother, grandfather, 80s kind of potpourri smell. Yeah, it was a no for me. And it was extremely muted. And I only did one side of it. And I was like, thank you, I'm done. I'm done. Absolutely do not recommend green pumpkin. And then what are these three? These might be On the Green from Yankee Candle, because I did get an On the Green wax, one of their centerpieces, before I got On the Green candle. So that's maybe what this is. And if it is, it performed fine. It performed fine, but I actually enjoyed the candle more than the wax melt. The wax melt didn't do as well as the candle did. I was very relieved by that. The candle smelled much better than the wax melt. So there you go. That's what I've got for you. And I'm going to hold off on the Green because I will do an in-depth review of On the Green. That was April, my friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's go. Or no, it wasn't April. It was May. That was May. Oh my gosh, we're in June now. Okay, so June coming up. And June is starting out great because I've already got like a mini haul for you and an in-depth candle review. So we're gonna start out May really good with high intentions. I am burning the 2 Yankee candles too, the tomato and the herb, and then I will burn the tomato one from Bath & Body Works because, spoiler alert, that is in my haul. So, and I do wanna burn it. I actually thought that it smelled fine. I did. But that being said, like so many people that I respect at this point had given it such lackluster reviews that I think maybe my expectation threshold was very low, so that when I smelled it, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. You know, I was like expecting it to be way worse. That said, I haven't burned it, so all bets off. Thanks for joining me, my friends. I'll catch you in the next one.